When you stand in Florence looking at these masterpieces, there's a question almost nobody asks. Who paid for all of this? Because this city isn't just beautiful, it's expensive. It wasn't funded by the government, the artist didn't pay for it. The money came from one family. Today, we're not just looking at art. We're following the money to see how the Medici family literally bought the Renaissance. Florence doesn't just have art, it's saturated with it. Statues on street corners, masterpieces in churches, world-class art galleries packed into every walkable corner. Why here? Why so much? And why all at once? And that is where the Medici come in. The Medici didn't start as artists. They weren't royalty, they were bankers. And not flashy bankers, quiet ones. They built one of the most advanced banking systems in Europe, and it made them unbelievably wealthy. They didn't just hoard that money, they spent it. This is how they changed the face of Florence forever. One man, Cosimo de' Medici, decides something radical. He invests in ideas, art, architecture, philosophy, human potential, not because it was safe, but because it meant something. And once that door opened, Florence exploded. Let me make this a little more real. A teenage sculptor named Michelangelo is brought into the Medici household itself. He eats with them, studies ancient statues, learns from philosophers. The Medici weren't just good patrons. They knew how to nurture and grow artists. And years later, Michelangelo creates David, a statue so powerful, it becomes the symbol of an entire city. This is what happens when talent is supported. And here's why this matters if you're visiting Florence. When you walk through the Uffizi, when you look up at the Duomo, when you step in front of David, you're not just seeing art, you're seeing the result of a choice. A decision centuries ago to value beauty, creativity, and human expression as something worth funding. This is why Florence feels different. It was built with intention. The Medici didn't last forever. By the 18th century, the family was gone. The wealth faded, but what they supported outlived them. So maybe the real story about Florence isn't just about the art. It's about what happens when people choose to invest in things that don't pay off immediately, things that take time to grow. Because standing here now, centuries later, we're still living inside the result of a very intentional choice. And once you realize that, you understand it's not about who paid for these masterpieces. It's about great beliefs are worth the investment. But if you don't believe in yourself, Florence will show you something very surprising.